What's up, people? We're gonna solve an inverse function here, and this one's actually gonna be kind of a challenge because what you're gonna discover is you're gonna have, when you switch your x and y variables, you're gonna have your y's in two different places. And so again, the goal with inverse functions is to first swap the letters, and so your y's become x's and your x's become y's. And then the second goal really is just to kind of solve for the new y. And so we'll just go ahead and start taking care of that. So yeah, I mean, based on what I said, step one is we got to switch the x's and the y's. So let's just go ahead and do that. So this y right here is now going to be an x. Those are going to be y's. So we say x equals, and then 3y minus 2 and y plus 4. Okay, so not too bad so far, but we have to deal with the fact that we have a fraction. And so I think the thing we should do next is take this whole denominator here as a group and cross multiply it up to this other side by the x that's already there. And so now we have the x multiplied by this whole grouped denominator that we moved, and we have it set equal to the 3y minus 2 numerator that's left over there. Okay, so then the key thing is we want to make this as simple as possible, and so I'm going to distribute the x in. I just think distributing would, help get rid of some of these excess parenthesis groups. And so what that'll give us is xy, which is going to look weird at first, and then plus 4x, because now the x is fully distributed in, equals, surprise, surprise, just our same stuff over there. So then the tricky part of this is people realize, this is where a lot of people will just end up stopping and giving up, because they're like, wait a second, 3y and xy, we have two different y terms, but they're not like terms because one of them has two variables combined and one just has a number in it. And so the way we deal with that is, this is just the main technique anytime you encounter a situation like this. You move all the y containing terms to the same side and then all the non-y containing terms to the opposite side. And so basically the way I see this is I can move this xy term over to that side by subtracting, and that'll put the 3y and the xy on the same side. But this minus 2 here, that's going to interfere with things. It's not a y containing term, so I'm going to want to move him over to this side. Okay, so what that gives us is we have the 4x that didn't move at all. All right, in order to move the negative 2, we had to add 2 to both sides. So I'm going to say plus 2 over there. And then on our right side, we have the 3y was already hanging out there, right? But then we had to subtract this xy term in order to move it over to that side. So now we say minus xy. Okay. The best part about this is we have the y terms on the same side. The reason we do this is because now you can factor out y, the thing we're trying to solve for, as a GCF, or greatest common factor. And so what this turns into is, okay, 4x plus 2, that doesn't change yet. But when we take the y out of both terms over here, because it is a common factor between the two terms, we just have a 3 and a minus x left over. The beauty of this is that we now just have a single y term, which we were trying to isolate anyways. And so how about, since it's multiplied by that group, we just, in order to isolate the y on its own, we just divide by that group on both sides. And so it cancels out over there. And so now you can see y equals everything else. And just to make this look more polished, I'm just gonna say y is equal to 4x plus 2 over the denominator of 3 minus x. And so depending on which side you move things to, you might get a slightly different answer than this. So another version of this could have been y equals, and you could have things like, x minus 3 and negative 4x minus 2, because what you'll realize is that this is just kind of the negated version on the top and the bottom as this one is. And basically, when you have the top and the bottom negated, that's a double negative, so it cancels out, meaning if it's equivalent to this answer. So hopefully this helps. I know this is kind of a tougher one, but yeah, just let me know in the comments how this helped, and see you on the next video.